On October 29th, 2023, Team Spirit rampaged to a 3-0 victory over Gaiman Gladiators, finalizing a dominating TI run and securing their second title in 3 years. While the series itself was ultimately a stomp, in the middle of Game 3 it was anything but. Team Spirit was on the ropes as Gaiman Gladiators' gank squad of Pangolier, Muerta, and Specter dictated the pace along the entire map. Their domination was so absolute that at one point Dota Plus gave Team Spirit a 4% chance of winning the game. Of course, a 4% chance is still a chance. All it takes is one bad overextension, and suddenly your commanding lead starts to shrink. Gaiman Gladiator's stifling tempo had given them an advantage, but they also needed to maintain that tempo in order to succeed, primarily because of one specific hero on Team Spirit's roster. Spirit Breaker's impact on the meta at that point had been known. With his capability to one-shot creep waves on a global level, combined with the devastating crowd control potential of his charge, teams knew they had to keep that cow down if they wanted any chance of winning. Given any space, he would go on a rampage, constantly pushing in lanes across the map and making teamfights hell. With this in mind, their overextension in the 23rd minute, while devastating, is understandable. Let's watch the play and then delve into exactly what went wrong. This definitely seems like an overextension, and a pretty egregious one. Dota is not a game of perfect information, however, so we must evaluate the fight in terms of what the teams themselves are actually seeing. Ultimately, this fight is decided by two factors: the vision war between Gaiman Gladiators and Team Spirit, and the efficacy of the spells used in the fight. Before the start of this fight, Gaiman Gladiators have a commanding view of Team Spirit's bottom jungle. With the combination of the Watcher and the Observer ward, they're able to see a majority of the lanes that they can move through, whether it be from the river or from middle lane. Collapse comes through and deactivates the Watcher, but this still gives them vision of the fact that he is here. Additionally, their ward catches Laurel as he walks from mid lane up into the jungle. This is the vision that Quinn sees to determine that this is a good time to fight. As we can see, there are pings happening here, and this is also when Quinn actually blinks in. However, once Specter haunts in, we can see the information that they did not know. Behind the Dazzle and the Spirit Breaker is a Grim Stroke and a Chaos Knight, and ostensibly, one would imagine, a Tusk somewhere, who is eventually revealed by the ice shards. In contrast, Team Spirit have what could amount to perfect information on the positioning of Gaiman Gladiators heroes. Because of this high ground ward here, which helped them take out the Muerta earlier, they are able to see the Pangolier walking around in the bottom jungle. While the ward on the high ground here sees Celery as he fires his Ice Blast. And finally, their defensive mid lane ward here catches Ace as he is rotating over. Crucially, this movement is spotted before the Pangolier starts his roll down here. This type of aggressive movement shows Team Spirit that Gaiman Gladiators is preparing to get aggressive in this bottom jungle area. Ace would not just walk through this section without having a reasonable confidence, at least, in what he was going into, which helps them realize that they're preparing for a fight around here. When addressing the usage of abilities in the fight, the main catalyst behind Gaiman Gladiators' downfall is the lack of impact they get out of their most important abilities. At the start of the fight, Quinn starts his roll incredibly early in an attempt to get the jump on Laurel's Dazzle. When he ultimately reaches Dazzle, his roll is blocked off by the ice shards and collapses charge. Can we talk about this charge, by the way? It's actually insane how Collapse sets this up. Instead of attempting to charge on the Spectre, which wouldn't inherently bash both of them, he instead snaps his camera to the top wave, charges the creeps, and then instantly cancels the charge once it connects with the heroes. This type of control is insane, and is a major reason why this fight attempt was stymied. This ice charge that Miposhka gets is crazy as well. Completely blocks off any angle for the roll to have any effect. The wasting of Rolling Thunder means that Gaiman Gladiator's main source of teamfight control is gone before the fight even starts. Because there is no lockdown, and Team Spirit have vision of the Ancient Apparition, they are able to retreat away from the Ice Blast, making it whiff. Once the Ice Blast fails to hit any heroes, the fight is effectively over, as it will be very difficult for Gaiman Gladiators to take down the Chaos Knight. But Ace understandably commits his Primal Split, seeing a Specter already so committed to the fight. Daracho gets a little too aggressive here, and he is punished by the Tusk's Blink Punch before getting chain stunned and dying. Ace's Brewlings nearly manage to take out the Dazzle, but Laurel manages to get the last second Shallow Grave, and his Shadow Wave deals massive damage to the Brewlings, allowing Yotaro to finish them off. After that, the rest of the fight was just cleanup. Celery dies after reaching the fight too late, and Quinn is hunted down in the trees. Ultimately, Gaiman Gladiators lost this fight because of an overextension. Team Spirit had perfect intel on their movements, and Gaiman Gladiators felt pressured to keep up their tempo. With the wasting of Rolling Thunder, Ice Blast, and Primal Split, combined with the impeccable ability usage of Miposhka and Collapse to counter Daracho's aggression, Team Spirit broke Gaiman Gladiators' momentum and started their path from 4% win probability to winning the Aegis.